Anybody who knows me knows that I love Harry Potter. Me and my oldest daughter, Haley, big fans. Big fans. In fact, I'm wearing a Harry Potter shirt right now. Also wearing Harry Potter socks. So it's not a big surprise when I say that I have a plan for the most epic Harry Potter build I have ever done. And I'm starting it right now. Okay, so obviously, before I can even get started printing what I need for this Harry Potter build, I have to print a wand because what else would I use as a pointer for this video? And I know what you're thinking. How do you not have a Harry Potter wand if you're a big Harry Potter fan? Well, it's actually quite simple. I have many Harry Potter wands. Everybody in my family has their own, thanks to a local garage sale where they were $1 each and we bought them all. But what is cooler than a Harry Potter wand I bought at a garage sale? A Harry Potter wand that I picked and printed in my 3D printer. And then I get to pick what color it is, which is way more fun. All right, I'm gonna have to look it up because this is important. Can't get it wrong. So I like this one because there are options, and I like options. Who doesn't? That one would be like Harry's. That's the Elder Wand. I'm not sure whose wand this is, but I like it. It's kind of twisty. What if it says Ron, Hermione, Voldemort, Snape, Harry Potter, Albus Dumbledore from movies, books. Okay. I know that's Dumbledore's. I think that one would be Voldemort's. I need them labeled. I don't want to accidentally print Snape's wand. I don't want Snape's wand. So here's what I really want, and I don't know if I'm even going to be able to find a file for it. I want the wand of my favorite character, which, if you have a guess, write it in the comments down below who that would be. I'm not going to say it yet, but I will say it shortly. I've got CoComelon stuck in my head, and I have all day long, thanks to my 2-year-old and her obsession with CoComelon. Tell you what, it's catchy. It's very annoying, but it's catchy. Found the wand. If you know whose wand that is, write it down below. Only real fans will know. Slice plate. Here's the real question. What color do I want it to be? Good question. Black? Thinking black. All right, cool. So now I just gotta go in the app and change what color I have in the AMS and then hit print. And then while that is printing, I've got to get on Amazon because I have some PETG to order for this project. So that's the plan. I have black, white, and then some, I have blue, and then I have a few that are like multicolored. The PETG, but those aren't going to cut it for this. 1 hour and I will be the proud owner of a new wand. Then I have to get to actually building what this video is about. So I know for a fact I'm going to need PETG for this build, which means I need to get on Amazon because I only have a few colors of that, and I mostly need gray, I need some green, maybe gold. So Amazon. You know what's really frustrating? When you find the print you want and you send it, and then it says something like printer was unable to parse the file. It was only the second time this has ever happened to me, but it is definitely annoying. I don't know what it means. I want it to parse the file already. Just parse it. Now it says downloading. Okay, it might have parsed. Yay. Still don't know what it means, but it's parsing, so we're okay. So I've got PETG in gray, and I have, let's see, Anycubic PETG, $12.99, not bad. And then I've got some company I've never heard of for the green, but it is CHCKX. Never heard of it, PETG, but it actually got good reviews. So it's $10.99 for a kilogram, and I like the colors. The biggest thing is I like the color. But 4.6 stars out of 104 reviews, I'm willing to chance it, you know? Give that a try. It wasn't able to parse the file. Again. Come on, wand. I'm just going to go back to Thingiverse and find a different option because that one doesn't want to parse. All right, so I looked it up, and unable to parse the file means that there's an issue with the file itself, like it could be corrupted or something, or there's missing characters in the code or something along those lines. So that being the case, I'm just going to pick a different one because luckily on Thingiverse there's multiple options for it. Okay. Ta-da! For anyone who doesn't know, this is Ginny Weasley's wand. She is my favorite character. I tried to print several other STL files of her wand before this one, and none of them worked because, as we know, the wand chooses the wizard. Alright, I officially have Ginny's wand. Now, all that's left to do is get the filament here. Good job, kiddo. I got 2 of the 3. Even with magic, I can't really control Amazon shipping schedule, so. But it's a start. Let's open them up. I think that'll work pretty nicely. Alright. And gray. Alright. I feel like that looked a little bit lighter on Amazon, but I think it'll be good. So I'm going to start with all of this in the AMS and get the first print going. These are all going to be bigger prints, so hopefully overnight I get the first finished print. And in the morning I have to start prepping where this is all going, which I haven't showed you that yet, but I'm going to. And it's going to be magical. But first things first, AMS. Cool. Alright, now I just need to update the app, let it know what's actually in the AMS, and then I can start the first print. First, I have to take some measurements. So I make sure I'm printing it to the right size. Okay, measurements. Here's the first print. The Hogwarts Express will ride right atop that. That's gonna be the perfect backdrop. So to start this off, I printed some stuff to make up the background of my Harry Potter land scene, if you will. I didn't like any of the options I could find online for a normal aquarium background. So instead, I'm gonna do solid black, PVC, whatever it is that, like cleaning on stuff that sticks to the back of the tank. And then I'm gonna create a background that's inside the tank. So for starters, I've got Hogwarts Express, which I 3D printed, and I'm gonna paint. And then I did like a whole bunch of these. I'm gonna make the Forbidden Forest as the background, and then I will, oh my gosh, I will have the Hogwarts Express go kind of behind the trees, and then I'll work on the main scene, which is in the front ground, in the foreground. Foreground? Front ground? Ground? Front. It's in the front. Alright, so then I'll make the main scene, which is, half of it is on the printer right now, but it is like a 19-hour print, so it's going to be a while. So, for right now, I also printed a tiny Harry Potter, ready to play Quidditch. He's got his Nimbus 2000. He also needs to be painted. First thing I'm going to do, though, is paint the Hogwarts Express. So, it should be mentioned, I printed everything in PETG because it will last better sitting in an aquarium full of water. It's also safe for the fish, which is very important. I'm going to be painting it with acrylic paint that is non-toxic, and then the paint has to cure completely. Once it is completely cured, I will be spraying it with a Plastidip clear coat, which is aquarium safe, which is very, very important. And then that has to cure completely before it goes in the tank. So this is a multi-level process, multi-step process. Join us because she's gonna work on painting her rock while I finish up my train.
Yeah.
All right, kiddo.
Okay, so what color should I choose? Yeah, I'll use painting some black pretty going. Wash on the paper towel.
proud of you. You're doing great. Having some real problems over here, though.
It's okay. You don't make mistakes sometimes.
You are so sweet. Oh man, the Quidditch pitch. It's got a little bit of stringing, but nothing that a little flame won't take care of. That's really exciting. It does have a little piece of filament that's stuck on the end of the nozzle and wound up there, and then I did something stupid and tried to clip it out while it was running, and the nozzle was over here, and it ended up doing lines in the surface because I didn't realize I was kind of pushing down over here. So that was my fault, and now I'm gonna have to try and fix it, but just lesson learned. Don't try and fix little things like that while it is running. All right, I've got it all loaded up for the big print. Black, brown, gray, and tan, all in PETG. Hopefully this goes well. It's a really long print. So a lot of progress has been made. Very excited about it. All of the filament is here, first of all, obviously. I've got the Hogwarts Express printed and painted. I've got miniature Harry printed and partially painted, so I have some work to do on that. I have the castle printing right now. The Hogwarts castle is a huge print. It's been broken up into 3 sections so that I could print it bigger. And it is the first section, which is the biggest portion, is printing right now. And it is gonna be a 2-day long print by itself. And then I've got the other 2 sections to print. So it's gonna be a minute on that. So I started printing it where it was all gonna fit on one plate. I made it as big as I possibly could for one plate. And the footprint of it printed, you know, the very bottom few layers. And I saw it and I was like, you know, considering how big the Quidditch Pitch is gonna be, or already is, this just wasn't gonna feel right. It wasn't gonna be even close to scale with the Quidditch Pitch, and I wasn't happy with the size. So I stopped the print. I found a file that was bigger, split into 3 pieces, and then I scaled those pieces up even more. I'm trying to make it as big as possible that it will still fit within the aquarium, because the tank is only 12 inches wide. So that's not, you know, I can't make it too huge and still fit it. So I decided, nix this, make it bigger. It's going now. But what I can do while I wait 2 days for this to print is I can work on the background. I'm gonna install the back panel on the aquarium itself and start cleaning the aquarium out. But first thing I need is the black filament that goes on the back, the black panel. So, Accio panel. Don't you love magic and editing? They're both awesome. Magic and editing. These are gonna be the background, but behind the aquarium I have solid black panel. So I thought about doing a night scene where I keep them really dark, and then trying to put stars on the back panel, but I think instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these kind of a dark green, and then I'll have the black panel behind them, and it'll still look dark because of the black. It'll still probably look like night, but the trees will stand out more. So I've already painted 3 of them, and I'm going to paint the last one. I'm using, I don't know, I'm using this like dark acrylic, and then I will be spraying everything with Plastidip after. I'm trying to do the brush strokes to kind of look like the branches. Getting a little Bob Ross on it, you know, make it look a little more tree-like. Also trying to do kind of layers, like stack the trees that I think would be in front over the top of the ones that would be in the back, and just make them have a little bit more dimension. So that's the plan here. I think the Hogwarts Express is going to be behind some of these trees, but maybe like kind of going through the trees. At least for right now, that's the plan. I'm going to play around with it once I get it all inside the aquarium. It's going to be tricky though, because I have fish in there right now, and I have water in there right now. So I'm going to be kind of playing around with all this stuff while it's wanting to kind of, some of it might want to float around on me.
Where to go? I find.
And I gotta figure out where I want it, and then probably use rocks to hold some of it down. Like this has a ledge, so I could just stick it up down there and put some rocks on top of the ledge to hold it in place. So that's kind of my plan for now, and then I'll just play it by ear and see how it actually works when it gets in there. It's getting there. It's starting to look like a forest. It's all about the layers. I have been working on the castle for days. Here's the problem. Number one, I scaled it way up because I'm trying to make it big. It's printing in 3 parts, and I have been printing part 1 for over 2 days now because PETG is kind of a royal pain in my butt. I've printed a bunch of stuff with PETG before. I've never had a problem, but I have never printed something this big with PETG. And the problem with it is that it's sticky. So these things, little poops, get stuck on the hot end. So when the hot end is like trying to knock them off to go down the little chute in the back, they're sticking to it. And so then they're getting pulled up, and they end up releasing back there on the purge tower. And so what ends up happening is then they're sitting up higher than the print, and they have knocked the front faceplate off of the hot end twice now. One was really sad because I had just got to work and I got a message saying it knocked off the faceplate again, which sucked because I then worked a 12-hour shift and it was just sitting at home waiting, not progressing any, and so that just wasted so much time. But if you look back there, I'll show you this. So if you look, there are little poop pieces everywhere. They're inside the castle. They're all over the purge tower back there. Because it's just, they're not always coming off when it does that part. And so there's going to be a lot of cleanup, and I have to be careful with the cleanup because, like, with the Quidditch Pitch, there was a lot of little hairs on these, a lot of stringing, and I hit it with the little torch to knock the stringing off, and then I noticed afterwards it just, completely melted off or burned off that one. So now all of them have this little thing on top, except for this guy. This is what I was talking about before. It gums up. It all melts to each other. This got stuck in this, and then eventually what happens is this catches on it and it comes out with the hot end and it knocks off the cover. So I had another issue with that happening just a little bit ago, and I had to come fix it again before I could finish the last hour and a half of the build. So that's been an annoying problem with this PETG. You can see all of the poop that was just stuck and would wind up on the purge tower, would wind up on the actual build. Definitely going to be a lot of cleaning up, but I think this is going to look really good when I'm done. There it is. Not bad. There's a good amount of poop back there, but the print looks good. Yup, I'm happy. All right, that one's done, that one's done. Final print. All right, so I have the second portion of the Hogwarts castle printed. It came out pretty good. It had the same problem as the other one. Poop would just get stuck to the nozzle and then attach itself to the print as it was going. If I shake it, it's definitely got poop inside of it. The other one does too. So that's just fun, but it doesn't hurt anything. So I'm going to clean it up a little bit, and then I'll be able to attach it to the first portion. I think I sized these up to 110%. I put the file down below for this print that I used. I did not create it, but it's already a sized up version of the original print. They sized it way up and then split it into 3 pieces, and I just took those 3 pieces and I sized them up a little bit more. I am slightly concerned about whether or not it's going to fit into my fish tank, because though the aquarium is really wide, it's about a foot deep. So I'm a little concerned about that, but that's a problem for future Tanya. And today's Tanya is just going to worry about cleaning this up and getting it ready to attach to the other portion that I printed. The last piece of the castle is on the printer right now, and then I have a few more things that I need to print that I'm really excited about. I might even be more excited about them than I am the castle, and that's really saying something. But every part of this build is just really fun. So wow. Okay, so I was testing this and I removed the purge tower because I didn't think it actually needed it. The thing with the purge tower is that's where all the poop would get stuck. So this one's got a lot of cleanup to do. Holy smokes. All right, maybe that wasn't the best idea. Oh man, okay. All right, here we go. Oh, it's the perfect fit. It's all coming together. All right. Time to get the old stuff out. started.
This guy.
All right, so here's where I'm at. Everything is going really well for the most part. Quidditch Pitch is being a real pain in the butt because of trapped air. If you do this, pay attention to the infill pattern. 15% lightning infill pattern was a bad idea, and now there's air bubbles that, despite me and my DeWalt drill's best efforts, we can't seem to get to. So, work in progress. I will get it. I am more stubborn than it is, so it'll be fine. But for right now, I've got Hogwarts Express in, Forbidden Forest is in, Quidditch Pitch is in but floating, and I've got the castle built, ready to go in next. I am a little concerned about how hard it's going to be to sink it, but again, I will get it sunk. I've got a whole bunch of stuff still printing. There are a lot of surprises I haven't mentioned yet because they're going to be fun. It's going to be like an Easter egg hunt when I show you the finished product. I've also got Harry is now completely painted. He's ready to go in. I've got one more thing left that I have to assemble, but this is going to be an extremely long video if I don't stop it here. So it's going to be a two-part video. This will be the end of this one, and I don't normally do that, but like I said, I don't want to post like an hour-long video. So check back next week. I will have the second video, and it will be completely done then. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I will have prints, the files I used down below. I will also have next week the files I used for whatever you see in that video will be in that description. Thank you so much for watching. Consider hitting like if you enjoyed this. It really means a lot to me, and it helps me out a lot. So I'll catch you guys next week. Bye.